Hello everybody, bit of a different video today. I'm about to head out to my parents over the weekend. I probably will be back on Sunday for some streams. But until then I thought like, okay, it's been a week on Hellfire now and I'm a bit short on time at the moment. So I was like, why not do like a short recap of my current experience, my first impressions and things along those lines. So here we are. This won't be as heavy edited, this will be really just a bit of a ramble video about the things that I've noticed so far, about the pros and cons and all the stuff that's been going on in the past week. So I really hope this will be okay for you and you will bear with me here. So let's get to it. The launch itself was pretty weird. They decided on a sort of a stealth launch. Basically not really announcing a date, but rather letting players in one after another. But the problem with this at this modern day and age is that a lot of streamers, a lot of people are like broadcasting this stuff. So as soon as one of them was in, all the other ones knew already, okay, there we go, this is go time. And apparently it was a bit too much to handle for their servers. I'm also not too sure why they decided to do this on like prime time for Eastern Europe, but maybe they just wanted like an equal chance for everybody to join in, even if you like have work to do until late in the evening. In any case, so this is where the weird stuff happens. For example, TSW was streaming this, he managed to log in and then for some reason the servers were down again for like half an hour. Probably again because of too many people trying to log in. So we had a scenario where 100-200 people were leveling 30 minutes earlier, which is huge. Like this is such a huge start, such a huge leap in front of everybody else if you manage to get a good head start. But I mean, it is what it is. They decided against the wipe and then they let in more and more people. I think I managed to get in around 800-900 queue. And once everything was settled and once the lag stopped, because that's also another thing, there was a bunch of lag for the early hour. Main reason, of course, a lot of people trying to log in and trying to get into the server. But yeah, once this stopped, I also started to stream and again, like it was a really nice experience. There were a few crashes here and there and again, a sort of starting lag. But after everything settled, after the majority of the player base managed to get in, they opened the server in like 100 players at a time and then again and again until the cap was reached of around 2000 at day 1. And yeah, it was a great time. And one of the first things I've noticed and one of the biggest accomplishments from the team is also the faction balance. Apparently all the goodies, I explained them in an earlier video, they got for the Alliance side really paid off. And there was even like a majority of Alliance players, which is unheard of for fresh TBC server launch. So this in itself was amazing and a very unique experience. So some hours went by and one of the most common issues that I had was the pathfinding. I mean, there were a few little bugs here and there in terms of quests, but that was not the majority of the problem. Really like mobs not, well, moving fast, they kind of RP walking all the way, and that made it pretty easy as a hunter for me to kill them, which is not too bad I guess, but still a bug nonetheless. Or like the pathing not working at all, especially like on cliffs or like on uneven areas. There was this thing where mobs really just went all over the place with no real direction, and you could also abuse that I guess. But yeah, for the most part, just buggy pathfinding all over again. But of course that didn't keep me away from playing. I mean, on Hellground there were the same issues and in the end it turned out to be a really fun server, and I would say the same thing for Hellfire so far. Like, there are little few issues here and there, but overall it's like a really fun quest experience. ×3 raids, so I was just breezing through the vanilla content. And now like starting at the TBC area, I kinda hit a wall and unfortunately I wasn't able to progress to 70 until now. I'm like almost 62 at the moment. But I definitely will push myself to level 70 to give you some more insight about the dungeons, about maybe heroics, raids, all that stuff. That's really important for me. Would like to add one more thing here. Earlier I spoke about stability and it's still getting better. There was a small part there in the last week where there were constant crashes, but they seem to have fixed it. And speaking of stability, of course, it's always important about the population. And they've managed to, let's say, in average, keep around 2000 people on their servers. They even increased the server cap right now because they feel very confident that they will be able to handle it. It's around 3000 now, but I haven't seen this cap yet, so I guess it's a nice have, but maybe at the weekend it will peak around 3000. So far the server peaked around 2.2, 2.5, and yeah, that's about the server population right now. So yeah, where does this leave us? I mean, a lot of people when I stream, they always ask me, will you go back to Hellground? Will you stay on Hellfire? And so far I can't really tell. It will depend what Hellground does when it comes back, and like a few other decisions that they will make. I can't give you a certain answer on that. But one thing that I can say is that Hellfire has done a pretty amazing job so far. The pathfinding here and there is still a bit buggy, but they really are into fixing it. Besides that really inconsistent and weird launch, they managed to keep the server up and stable, and they keep working on their stability. There will be a lot of improvements along the way. And of course, and I mentioned this earlier in the video as well, one thing that makes this server very special is the faction balance. That's something that Hellground just completely ignored for now, and well, we ended up with 70 or even 80% horde, which just is way too much and really not fun for world PvP, even if you are on the winning side. And it's just amazing, it's just very refreshing to have like a server with 50-50 faction balance in a TBC area. That's just very fun and very unusual, and I really enjoy it at the moment, even though I die a lot more. So yeah, stable server, high population, faction balance, and with scripting quality around Hellground level. Again, I didn't test out the high level dungeons yet, so it might be even an improvement. I might refer you, or I would encourage you to maybe check out TSW's channel. He has some endgame footage on Hellfire, also a carry rate if I'm not mistaken. And the scripting seems very solid so far. In case you didn't know, like Hellfire is based on Hellground's core, and some say it's a bit more refined, some say about the same, some say, well, it's even worse. So that's something I really have to test out myself, but I don't want to make myself like a test character or anything. I really want to level through the content. So it takes a bit more time, but I think like having a short conclusion after a week of the server is a fair thing to do. And I also hope you enjoyed this kind of weird video. But if you have any more questions, if I did forget anything to mention about the servers, about the server Hellfire specifically, then please just tell me, let me know in the comments. I will try to answer you. And yeah, if you enjoyed, also leave a rating, would be much appreciated as always. And with that being said, I'm looking very much forward to Sunday. I will try to come back as soon as possible so we can stream a bit more. And yeah, until then, have a great weekend and I see you around. Bye.